Hello everyone, it's me Jenny. My hair seems to be a separate entity today, and today is time for another anime review. And I honestly wasn't going to do an anime review this week, I just haven't had time, but due to some rescheduling today, I found myself with not much to do this morning, so I trawled through Netflix and I found Avengers Confidential, Black Widow versus and Punisher. And so I watched that this morning while snuggled up on the sofa, and I want to talk about a couple of things about this anime. First I'll talk about things I really liked. The thing I really liked is particularly the pairing between Natasha Romanoff and Frank Castle, I think that's his name. I'm not very familiar with the Punisher mythos, but as far as I know he's a very straight down the path character, you bad, I kill type character, while Natasha is a very, very complex character and has a very complex view of the world and of each situation she is thrown into, and she has a very complex view of everything pretty much. So it's nice to see that buddy pairing because they're both, you know, very cool and very interesting, and it's a very good pairing. I really liked also the cameos. There was a lot of cameos in this, both from high-ranking good guys and high-ranking bad guys, and that was very interesting and very well done. And it's nice to see Black Widow in anything. There's been a lot of discussion about the fact that she doesn't really have equal standing when it comes to things like action hero toys and that sort of thing, and it's even almost referenced in this film because there's a little row of bubbly head toys and there's all the Avengers, including Punisher as a little bobblehead toy, and there's no Natasha bobblehead toy. And I find that odd because in a way, like, it is part of the universe that obviously the heroes are the ones that the public sees and the spies are the ones that are kind of undercover, but given how much Natasha's kind of in the limelight in the cinematic universe, I feel like there should be a lot more like, who is this mysterious redhead? Rather than, you know, everyone knows who Tony Stark is, everyone knows who Thor is, and then one's like, that hot redhead that's hanging around with them, who the hell is she? No one wonders what that is. So I can understand there's something odd going on in the Marvel universe that's been bugging me for a little while, and that everyone is super in the limelight except for somehow Hawkeye and Black Widow, who are still spies and still go undercover, yet nobody actually recognises them as part of the Avengers. And again, bobblehead toys, she's just not part of that team. So it's something that I think I have just a little internal niggle with in terms of the cinematic universe, that she is clearly very much part of the Avengers team, and yet everyone is in the public and she is there in the situations, but she's not outed as a spy or anything, and I find that odd. Yes. Moving on to a couple of the things that I had little niggles with in this series. It's slightly repetitive in terms of the action. It's something that sometimes happens with anime anyway, is that there's no real stakes with the characters because they're all invincible. And I kind of felt like this, none of the hits really seem like they hit home, even the ones that kind of throw people across the rooms, it just ends up in triple backflip and they land perfectly. There's no real like sense of fear with the characters because they're not really vulnerable. Similarly, like, they have some very distinct fighting styles, but Black Widow's felt a little bit like, we're going to do a kick and then another kick and then a flip and then a kick and then another kick and then a flip, and then it just felt like a little bit like a repetitive little thing, and considering the flexibility you have with anime to do lots of different things, it just felt a little bit like, oh, and another kick, okay. Similarly, there's I think about at least 2 or maybe 3 or 4 punch-to-punch moments where like they meet halfway. There's about the kettle is whistling downstairs. I'm hoping that someone else will get it in a moment. There we go. There's about, I think it might even be 4 punch-to-punch moments. There is 3 Widow versus Punisher fights, none of which seem particularly independent of each other. Some of which are like, and now time for another superfluous fight. Only one of them is actually kind of really meditated. The other 2 are just like, we can't really hold a conversation properly, let's fight. And the other kind of niggle I have with this is I like a lot of aspects of it. I don't really like the romance aspect, which is something that I usually have a niggle with the romance, but it felt like a really, really forced romance, with like a really one-dimensional, like, I wanted to change for you. There's a lot of odd quirks with the script writing in this. There's the, I wanted to change to you, but now I shall kill you, but now I love you, but now I want to kill you, but now I just wanted to sacrifice myself to be your hero, and you're like, in the meantime you've been hitting her in the face, dude. Similarly, she's been hitting you in the face. The other script things that really bug me are things like the Punisher right at the end. He's like, time for you to meet justice. Oh, you sacrificed yourself. He was just so misguided. Damn you, bad guy. You're the real villain. I was about to shoot him in the head, but it's all your fault. Now that he's actually dying in the background, it's all the rage at you rather than him. And it's like, that's not well written. There's a couple of just points throughout where I'm like, oh, really? And that's not to say I could write anything better, but I don't know whether or not it's the fact that it was obviously American characters written in Japanese and then obviously redubbed in English. So obviously there's a limit to what they can say with the mouth flaps available. And there's a lot that has to be kind of worked around in terms of that language retranslation. I did like the fact that it's kind of campy and cheesy in a good way. It kind of the cheesy aspects of anime kind of reflect the cheesy aspects of the Avengers story. So when you have and we're going to give you a buddy cop movie moment and I'm going to fight you for no real reason moment, it kind of works. And it kind of works with the, you know, hackings, like some of the characters seem very anime. And a lot of it works because it is kind of taking the cliches of both genres and kind of combining them. Like there's obviously a reasonable amount of fan service, which is both a comic book trope and an anime trope, which works. I can't say that having constant shots of Natasha's boobs was particularly exciting for me, but there you go. I just felt like she should be wearing a better bra. Last but not least, the thing that kind of I got used to it by about midway through, but sort of ruined at least the first couple of levels of it, is the voice acting in this. Again, they are limited by the fact they've got a redub over the Japanese dub. There's a lot of Japanese mentalities that come through in the art style and the characters like sigh type thing that wouldn't normally be an American production. But it just, particularly with Black Widow, I felt like the voice acting didn't quite do what they were trying to do justice. With Nick Fury, with Frank Castle, because their characters are very not one-dimensional, but they're very focused one thing at a time. They didn't really need that much double meaning, while Natasha has got so much going on. And they're trying to make her both quirky and sexy and manipulative, focused and really in control all at once, and then giving her a romantic plotline. And there's a lot going on with her character, and it just didn't quite come through with the voice work sometimes. When she has those glib one-liners like, oh, you're popular, it just doesn't come off right. It felt like a little bit forced. And it was just something that constantly bugged me. And the phone's going off now. Wow, this is a video of distractions. Someone else picked it up, yay. So generally, I didn't not enjoy this anime. I'll probably watch it when I've got nothing else to watch. I know there's an entire Avengers animated series and there's another animated film. And I'll probably watch it when I really don't have anything else I'd rather be watching. But I can't say I enjoyed it all that much. It just felt a little bit half-baked in odd places. There's a lot of potential, but it felt like it just constantly fell flat. In terms of what they were trying to do and what they ended up actually managing to do. But there we go. That's my quick review, or not so quick review with lots of distractions. And yeah, another phone is going off. Blimey, I've got to go do other things. Thank you all for watching. Feel free to comment down below and I'll see you guys all very soon. Bye guys.